everyone. Hi, men and women, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Just Skydding Podcast. My name is Chituru. I hope by now people are learning how to pronounce my name because they've messed up my name in this Lagos state.
I can imagine.
Nigeria as a whole. But yeah, welcome to the Just Skydding Podcast. Don't forget to catch up on previous episodes. There's so much to learn and in a very relaxed, chilled way. Everything you need to know about insurance. So today, we're talking about something really, really, really important. And it's the fact that a lot of us own valuables. A lot of us own things that we spent a lot of money to get. But I don't think we're thinking enough about how to protect these things or what happens when something happens to the things that we've worked so hard to get. But to break this down further, I'm not alone. I have a guest, and he's going to introduce himself. So please let the people know who I'm here with today.
All right. Thank you very much, Chitsuru. I hope I pronounced the name right.
Yes.
Amazing. So my name is Chibuike. I head the partnerships team at Tangerine Africa. Tangerine Africa is a one-stop shop for insurance, health, and pensions. And I think is one of the sweetest insurance providers in Nigeria, hence the name Tangerine. So thank you for this opportunity. I hope we'll have a great conversation.
Yeah, when you said sweetest, are you referring to the fruits? Because Nigerian tangerine is not nice. The foreign one, yes, but not. Oh, yeah. Okay. So today, I want us to talk about why it's important to protect our valuables. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you a very weird question.
Oh, my.
Yeah, don't be scared. What's the most valuable thing you own or you've ever owned?
Wow. So I used to have this very expensive watch that I got as a gift. That was way back in uni. And I wore that watch like I could wear it every day even to sleep, right? But I think it was when I went for NYC, that's when it got missing.
You carried it for NYC?
More things happen. So it got missing at NYC camp and that was it. And since then, I don't think I'm able to get a very good watch as that. But I mean, it was something that I really loved. And if I'd known about insurance, I probably would have
insured it.
And all that. So at least I'll get a bit of compensation if anything had happened.
So that what, who got it for you? Look at the camera and say, who got it for you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm shy to mention my most valuable thing. I was talking about it with Camille before we started recording. So you guys, I don't want you to rob me. So skip. Okay, so let's dive in. What's property insurance? What's asset insurance? What's device insurance? What are those things? In the most simple ways you can describe them.
So these things that you talked about, there are different classes of insurance, and for insurance it has to be specific in terms of what it protects. So we have property insurance, right, where it protects your home and the assets within your home, right? You also have device insurance that covers a wide range of devices. So today we're in the information age, and devices like something that is very important to everyone. Almost everybody's like a content creator, so your mobile phone is like a device to you, and it's something that you can actually protect. You can insure against the damages or the different things that could happen to your device. Then also we have other classes of asset insurance, be it your vehicle, be it other things, right? There are different classes of insurance that can actually protect all of these things against loss, because these things are very expensive. So I think insurance is a very, very good tool to manage the risk that comes around with owning all of these properties.
Right. So do we insure things like cameras? Are those part of things that can get insured?
Oh, yes. So whatever you value, right, and once it's a physical device, of course it's a device, so it's physical and all of that, so it can be insured. So your cameras, smartwatches, laptops, all of those things can be insured as an individual against damage. So once anything happens to it, it gets damaged, it falls, and anything happens in the process, then definitely the insurance will kick in and ensure that we return you back to your position before the incident.
No, that makes sense. So, because most times people just think my phone gets missing, should be I'll replace it. There's no way I cannot be communicated with, so I need to get a phone. But people don't think about how it can set you back financially. So if it's paying you that much to lose such items, or if they steal your car, I remember when they stole. I'm not supposed to be laughing about this, but I remember how devastated my sister and her husband were when they stole their car. Young couple, they had just gotten married. She was pregnant, managing their car.
Yeah.
And they robbed them and took that car. and they never found it.
Oh my.
So however, we're not thinking about these things that can happen.
Yeah.
Because it's not far-fetched, right?
Absolutely.
So what are the ways that we can slowly but surely fix people's mindsets about the need to insure these things?
So, I mean, this is very important, and that's why I'm excited about this kind of opportunity, because we just keep talking about it, creating that awareness across all of the channels to let people know that insurance is not actually a big thing. It's actually closer to you than you think. And, I mean, it won't surprise you to know that Nigeria is a very, very risky, country. Things happen in this country.
We're not
a lot.
shocked.
So the more reason why people ought to have insurance.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm excited about platforms like Skid, making insurance
Hi,
very
Skid.
easy. Yeah. So making insurance very easy, easy to understand, knowing that, these are the things that you need to have to ensure that you protect the things you love, because the things you love, you actually have to protect them, whether it's spiritual protection or what.
Shall protect it.
Shall just protect it, but most importantly, right, while also praying and covering your things, spiritually and all of that, you also actually need to have all of these kind of insurance policies to protect it, so that if anything happens, at least there's a little payout that comes to you from the insurance perspective. Right.
So what's, and I don't want to block people's minds with the actual amount, but what's like the pricing to insure such items? If I want to insure a phone that costs ₦1 million,
so funny enough, these things are not expensive, because if you look at the cost, what it actually costs you to replace some of these things. So let's take a case example. One of these latest iPhones or Samsung gadgets, right? It can cost upward of 200, 300K to repair the screens and all of that. But if you do like an insurance policy, you can pay as low as maybe like 20, 30K, depending on the value of the phone.
Right.
Right. And once you do that, anything that happens to the phone, screen damage and all that, you're sure that you can repair it, and using original parts, you know, because it's one thing to repair your phone, and it's another thing to ensure that you repair it with the original parts.
Yeah.
But with the insurance and the kind of partners you don't have around, right, once you insure your device, your phone, anything that happens to the screen, you get it fixed at no cost.
Right,
so it's just
away.
Peace of mind for you.
Right.
So I think it's very important people start getting aware of these things and start using it.
Right. So Chibuike, we have a couple of people who have mind, right? They're driving around in Lagos and other states without any form of car insurance.
Oh my, that's risky.
That's why I said they have mind. So for those people, I want you to, number one, drag them. Number two, let them understand the options they have as people who drive. Comprehensive auto insurance, third-party auto insurance. People need to know their options. It's in Lagos State or so. It's compulsory to have one. At least you must have a third-party auto insurance. So maybe more people need to understand what it is and how they can get it and the benefits that they can get by having it.
Yeah, very important, because I've been driving for many years now, and I've seen a whole lot of accidents. And it just amazes me how someone can drive without having any form of insurance. And it's actually mandatory. For you to own a car and drive it on Nigerian roads, you need to have a motor insurance. Even recently, I think National NICOM, in collaboration with the police force, they were going on an enforcement drive to ensure that everybody has motor insurance, be it third party or the comprehensive insurance. So I think it's really important, not just for you, but just to ensure that you have that what's the word? That's comfort, that if anything happens, right, not just yourself, but also the people that other users on the road are also protected as well. So in terms of the motor insurance, we have different variants. So like you mentioned, we have the third-party insurance. It used to be 5K, but now they recently increased it to about 15,000 naira. And that's like the basic, level of motor insurance you can have.
Right.
So what that does is that third-party insurance, it protects the other party. So you, the owner of the car, it doesn't protect you, but at least it covers the other users on the road. Right, so if you hit someone's car, right, the obligation is on insurance to repair that person's car. And in addition to that, it also covers death and injury to the third party. So it's not just the assets or the property,
it's
right? It also protects the person as well. So if you knock down someone, the person passes on, the person gets an injury, then the third-party insurance covers that. So it's really important people know that, because a whole lot of people don't even know that third-party insurance works. They just feel like it's just something I get just to beat the police on the road. So if they stop me on the road, I can just show them, I have this paper. But it actually works, right? I've seen where people use third-party insurance, and when an incident happens, the insurance pays. I know insurance industry is highly regulated by
It is.
NICOM. Like, so once an incident happens and you report it, and I think that's one of the things a lot of people miss. They don't report on time. It's
No, they
important to
don't.
report when there's an incident. So whether you use a third-party motor insurance, any type of insurance, always ensure that you report when there's an incident. But once you report, then insurance will definitely kick in. And partners like Skid, Tangerine, like we ensure that we do the insurance the right way to just ensure that, I mean, people get paid once there's an incident.
So the onus is also on us to make sure that that process for people getting paid when there's a need for it is as smooth as possible.
Absolutely.
Do they even know that they need to submit, or do they know that they need to alert the insurance company the moment there's an accident? Such things. I think that's where people need to be more educated. The process after the event happens.
Yeah.
Instead of insulting each other on the road.
Yeah, you know.
That time is when you should be calling your insurance company. But they first of all fight. Let's fight.
Which is totally unnecessary.
Which is not necessary.
It's not. No steez.
So that claims process, what are we doing to? Because that's the most that's where people have the highest misconceptions around insurance.
Yeah.
When you need it, don't worry, they won't pay you any money. What are we doing about it?
So
you're on camera, so anything you say will be used against you.
Definitely, we're ready for it.
Yeah.
So I usually tell people that insurance is all about paying claims. So the concept of insurance is payment of claims. When there's an accident, when there's an incident, that's when insurance kicks in. So that's where the real service is. And as a responsible provider, the onus is on you to ensure that your claims process is seamless and you're able to make payments to the customer as quickly as possible. Yeah. But it's important for the customer to also know what their obligation is, because when there's a claim, there are obligations to the insurer, the insurance company. There are also obligations to the customer as well. So the customer needs to know the things he needs to do when there's an incident. So let's take, for example, like there's an accident and you have like a motor insurance, a third-party motor insurance from your provider. So immediately you're meant to report it, but I mean, report it within 30 days, but the advice is to report it immediately. And you ought to know the documents you need to submit. So you need to submit the driver's license of the person that was driving the car. That's the third party. Yeah. So if you don't have a driver's license and you're driving, then I think there's some penalties that apply and all of that. So it's important to know all of these things. So you need to know the other documentations you need to submit. So once you just submit all these documents, then I think it's fine. Once you submit them, then within a reasonable time, the insurance company is going to validate all those information, because the insurance company won't just go ahead and just pay. They need to validate all of those things, confirm that truly this incident happened. If there are pictures that needs to be shared, share the pictures and make sure you take very quality pictures as well, so that it's clear that this incident happened, right? And once you submit all of that, within a reasonable time, they do the validation and they make payments to your accounts. And that is why we're excited with partners like Skid, because I know you guys are aggressively looking at making sure that the claims process is seamless.
Very short and
very
seamless.
Short, straight to the point. So once customers start seeing and start knowing, they know that insurance companies pay, I think over time, like the culture of insurance will keep growing.
Yeah.
It's everything we're trying to do right now.
Yeah, and more people need to talk about the fact that my insurance company paid me for this thing. The bad stories are out there, and it's crazy.
Definitely.
There are businesses who deal in valuables. In fact, I don't care what you do, as long as you have physical items in your business. It could be that you own a car dealership. It could be that you deal in gold. You sell spare parts. You know that these people don't insure their businesses.
Oh my, that's a huge risk.
Talk about it, because why? Are you not scared?
I mean, those people, they really have mind. I don't even know how they go to bed with their two eyes closed, because, like I said, Nigeria is a very high-risk country.
Yeah.
I mean, just cast your mind back at the 2020, what's that stuff that happened at the toll gate, Lekki toll gate stuff. A lot of businesses got vandalized, right?
Right.
Today, you can lock up your shop and next thing you know, is vandalized and all those things. So these things are very rampant in Nigeria, right? And it just makes sense for you to just get insurance. And the thing about it is that these things are not so expensive, right?
To insure.
Right? So just talk to your provider, talk to your partner. They value what you have. You provide the valuation of what you have, and you just pay the little premium and you get covered. So we have wide range of products, fire and burglary, that protects your business location against fire if it's boggled, against some of those things, right? And once you have it, at least that's a safety net for you. And it protects you. So if anything happens, I mean, you're rest assured that at least you're not going to lose totally. There's something that is going to come in for you to start up again, to come back to where you are. So I think it's really important. Business owners, whether you're a small enterprise or a big enterprise,
whether you're in the markets,
anywhere you are, just make sure you insure your location. Talk to your insurance provider and get like the cover, read through the terms, make your payments, and you'll be fine.
Right. So there's an insurance company that I'm obsessed with. It's a global brand.
Yeah.
But their most popular service is renters insurance. Renters. Do we have such insurance for Nigerians here? Because people think it's only when you've built or bought your personal house that you have to insure that property.
Yeah.
How about the one where you pay annual rent for? Can you also insure it, even though it's not your personal house per se?
Yeah.
What are you insuring? The building or the things inside it?
So there are products that exist, right? And because what some insurance companies are beginning to do, they're beginning to innovate and beginning to combine different benefits, to create new products that appeal to the markets that they serve, right? So I'm aware that there's a product that exists where as a tenant in a house, you can take an insurance policy on your house. It protects the house against fire. Then should the fire happen, right, then there's a payment to you to go and get another apartment elsewhere, because the current one where you are, yes, it cannot be occupied because of the incident, right? So there are actually policies that like that. So it's just for us to just keep promoting it, let people know about all these things. So that whether you're a landlord that owns the property, you can take out a policy to protect your assets, which is the property.
Right.
Or if you're a tenant, you can take out a policy to protect the contents of this. And if anything happens, right, you get a payout that can enable you to get pay rents in another location. So these things exist, and it's just for people to tap into it and just start and living their life.
And for people to be more aware of it. Insurance is such a cool industry. I used to see it like this. So.
Very cool.
Because all these things are from a place of love. Somebody has to love you to think about the fact that about the fact that you something happened to your house that you rented. In the meantime, go somewhere. While we sort this out. That's such a thoughtful industry. And I'm happy we're in it.
Yeah, definitely.
If I say so myself. Okay, so I want you, what's like, in your experience so far, the most dramatic or the biggest claims that you've paid out? What was the scenario? What happened?
Oh my.
Gist us.
So, I mean, that's why we're in business. We're in the business of paying claims. That's what insurance is all about, right?
Yeah.
I tell people insurance is not all about collecting premium. Insurance is all about paying claims. It's to pay the claims when these things happen, right? And I've seen claims that, I mean, when I saw the amount, I just like, wow, like how? But, it depends on the class of insurance and the sector that is being insured and all of that, right? So if you look at some industries, for example, the oil and gas, the aviation, those guys, their claims are usually heavy. So you can imagine taking out an airline, taking an insurance on an aircraft, and something happens to the aircraft and something.
Hey!
The insurance company could hear them, but they have to pay, right? Yeah. So these things, we see them, right? And we pray they don't happen, but should they happen, because nobody has control, right? But should they happen, then yes, we will 100% live up to our obligation. And trust me, like, I mean, we have a very, very big portfolio, so nothing to fear us. We know the fear.
We're not scared.
We're not scared.
Has anybody ever made a claim for a delayed flight?
Yeah, it exists. And I mean, I'm just surprised a whole lot of people
don't
take
advantage.
Please do, right? And they have to pay, because I mean, there are products that are like that. I mean, I think some of the airlines have it, but
every time you buy a ticket, you get notified that this insurance covers you. So is it just for when you lose your luggage? Is it for when your flight is delayed or cancelled? Those things are not clear. They're still trying to deceive us while we're buying it.
So I think it's plain English. Like, I mean, if people read through, but I think a lot of people read through it, but many of them, just because past experiences and all those things, they just don't bother. But these things actually do work. So this stuff you talked about is the local travel insurance. I mean, a couple of insurance companies they have it and all of that. So typically it's always embedded to your travel ticket. So if you're buying your ticket online, you go to some airline website, you see the option where you can select that. I know. And once you do that, right, I think if the flight is delayed over a certain number of hours, then there's a payout benefit that comes to you.
Right.
Your luggage too is also protected. If your luggage gets damaged or gets missing, a payout comes to you. Not like they're going to totally replace it, but at least something comes to you. You're not at total loss. Then if there's any medical emergencies and all those kind of stuff, right, it also covers that as well. So I think it's really useful, right?
Yeah.
Because in this country, we all know, like, I mean, almost everybody has suffered that kind of incident, but it's important that, I mean, if you have this kind of cover, at least you get that kind of payout and it just makes you feel chilled and happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there something unusual that you would insure about yourself? You know how people insure different parts of their bodies,
I kid you
their
not.
things. That's something you insure if you had the chance to.
Even me, jeez. I don't know, maybe my voice. My voice still, like...
Really?
I don't know, but... I mean, there's a whole lot that can be insured, but... I mean, it's
that's
one
a different, unique answer. Your voice.
Or maybe I'll just copy Nick Cannon, what he insured. I don't know.
What did he insure? I need closure. I'm finding out after this.
Well, check.
I'll insure my legs and my brain.
I
need to be able to move. I can't. I'm sorry. This may sound insensitive, but I don't know how I would be if I'm not able to move by myself. And then my brain, I need to be able to think.
Yeah, I think you're smart. So yeah, insuring your brain is like very. That's one of your most valuable assets. 100%.
Okay. Do you think we've talked about everything that people need to know? Is there any other thing you would like to add, emphasize?
So I think, I mean, insurance is meant to be a culture. That's what I like to tell people, right? It's meant to be a culture. It shouldn't just be a thing of necessity or because
just
police,
another thing.
Yeah, or because police go catch me for road and let me just go and get my insurance. No, I think people should have that mind shift, right? And it's not just people out there, all of us, right, together to your little circles where you are, right? It's just keep promoting insurance. And many of the things issues people used to have with insurance, I think all those things have changed.
They've changed.
Right, and technology is really impacting insurance, because if you look at the way technology has impacted the banking side, right, you see that today now to open a bank account, right, you can do that under 1 minute, USSD. You bring out the Sterling One app, you can open an account like in 8 minutes and all of that. So I think technology is beginning to impact insurance, and the experience around insurance is really changing. So I know people will start warming up to the adoption of insurance, but you just to keep preaching the message of insurance, like let it be a culture, right? As a young student to school, what are the different insurance you can take on, right? Just to ensure that you start early. As a young someone that just started working early and all of. So there are different insurance as in for different stages of your life, but I think it's just important to find the one that serves you, get it, and just be happy, because life happens, and that's the truth. I can't count the number of times I've had accidents and insurance came to my bill. I hit someone and the guy will just rake. I say, "Oh God, calm down. What is this? Calm down.
Got you.
We'll pay. Like, what is it?" And truly, we actually paid, and I mean, the guy was really happy. I was happy and everything. So these things actually do work, right? Just make sure you submit all the documentation, take pictures where you required, and send a notification to your insurance company, and they will definitely pay.
Yeah, they will. Thanks for that. And I also wanted to give you your flowers on this, because Chibuike is passionate about partnerships.
Oh yes.
He is, because we can't do these things in silos. People need to start coming together. We need to start figuring out ways that we can partner to bring insurance to the people who actually need it. Yeah. People will no longer go to an insurance company to buy insurance. They're buying it without even knowing. You're buying a phone, it's already insured. You're buying an airline ticket, there's already insurance attached to it. Yeah. There are platforms like Skid. There are different other platforms where people could access insurance. So as someone who is passionate about partnerships, I feel like you should also tell other insurance companies, you're carrying last if you're not partnering.
100%. They need to, and if you're out there, any insurance company, I think partnerships like the new sales force in driving things. We've seen where partnership has worked in other sectors, in the banking sector and all of that, right? So I think, right, applying the same thing in the insurance space definitely is going to achieve the success. Yeah. And I must give you your flowers, right? I think it's meant I'll give you the flowers, because kids are actually doing amazing stuff in the market, right? I see you guys, I see the impact, right? The content you're trying to push out there, the story you're trying to create, the the impact ultimately, right, I think is something that, I mean, once we keep doing and keep supporting each other, we just keep driving the numbers upwards, because it's going to amaze you. Insurance penetration in Nigeria is really, really low.
It's poor.
I mean, really low. When I see the data, right, I look at the banking data, I look at the pensions data, I look at insurance data. Insurance is actually the least amongst the 3 financial services. And that's why we're excited, partner with some players like Skid, you know, to try and do things differently.
Yeah.
Insurance is not difficult. Insurance is meant to be fun, right? So once you just keep preaching that message, keep doing the right thing, keep preaching the message, right, things will definitely grow, and everybody will have insurance.
Everybody will have insurance. You will have insurance.
They
by
have
force.
to have insurance.
Thank you so
Definitely.
much. So you guys, I hope you have heard, you've learned, and don't forget, these episodes are there for you to watch, rewatch until it brings you to the point where you actually make action and make a decision. If you're watching it and you already know the benefits of insurance, pass it on to someone who's also skeptical, someone who may have been burned by poor insurance experiences in the past. And we're doing better. The industry is getting better. It's regulated. People are thinking about more ways to make your life easier. So thank you so much for watching and for listening. You could find out more on skid.ng just to see all the amazing things that we're doing. Thank you, Chibuike from Tangerine.
Yes.
And see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.